What's up, everybody? It's JoJo, your favorite gold coach, and I hope you're all doing well. Overwatch is in the best state that it's ever been in. I know that's going to be a very controversial statement for a lot of people, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole thing about how I came to get Overwatch and be very dramatic about that, because I've done that a time or two on this channel already. I want to instead talk to you guys a little bit about how Overwatch made me feel. So if you didn't know, I've been playing Overwatch since early to mid 2017, somewhere around that era. I took several breaks and that lasted a couple of years here and there, and I will tell you up front that when Overwatch 2 dropped, I was kind of excited for what it was going to bring, and broken promise after broken promise after broken promise left me defeated. And I even ended up lashing out at the devs at one point on this very channel through a video that I made, and I was just incredibly done, man. I was done with how we were being treated as a player base. I was done with everything, and I thought for a fact I would never love Overwatch again. But I came back in January just to see what was going on. I do that from time to time, just check in. And I found myself enjoying it surprisingly a lot. Tank was still miserable, but it is what it is. And I decided, you know what? I kind of want to make content about Overwatch. And as I was working on that, the Overwatch Spotlight dropped. And all this cool stuff got announced, and they announced that they were going to be doing 5 new heroes. And there was something about that 5 new heroes drop that really made me have more hope than I ever thought I would. On top of that, of course, we're getting lore back, which is just something that the community has been begging for, to be able to reignite and reintroduce the lore, which was so rich and fun and interesting. And all of a sudden, I found myself with the same spark, not that I had when Overwatch 2 dropped, but that I had when I first started playing back in 2017. Overwatch means a lot to me. It helped me through a lot of tough times, and it was a hyperfixation for me, to the point where I became a coach. I spent more time studying Overwatch than I did actually playing it. But when I did play it, I played it just to enjoy it. Like, I played rank, but I really didn't care about my rank. That's why I was like bronze and silver back then. A lot of people will probably use that fact against me, but I mean, if you're using rank to try to argue against what I'm saying instead of just like actually arguing against what I'm saying, then I really don't care about your opinion, to be honest with you. But the thing is that I was bronze and silver back then because I just really didn't give a shit. I just wanted to play the game with my duo, maybe rank up a little bit, but I wanted to more learn the game. I loved the art style, I loved the music, I loved the personality and charisma of all the characters, I loved the lore, I loved the gameplay, I loved learning all the intricate details about the gameplay. I fell in love with it, and when I fell on some pretty hard times, Overwatch was one of those things that kept me going, especially the Overwatch League, which is just some of the coolest Overwatch you'll ever see in your life. Like, even if you have just started the game recently and you might not fully understand 6v6, I encourage you to go watch old Overwatch League matches, because they were something else, man. They were absolutely on a different level. It's so cool. I watch OWCS and it's very, very similar. Honestly, it's not the same, but it's very similar, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to find out which team I like the most, but I digress. The point is that a lot of people will disagree with my statement that Overwatch is in the best state it's ever been in, because they're going to be thinking back to how they felt and how nostalgic they were during quote-unquote prime Overwatch, which is typically regarded as late 2016 to around 2018. I think 2018 is pretty much considered the best that Overwatch has been throughout its lifespan, but I gotta tell you guys, I don't know if I agree. The reason that I ended up leaving in like late 2019, there was a few reasons. Number one, the community had started to genuinely piss me the fuck off. I was insanely tired of not being able to play the game without some bitch in my ear whining every other match. And some of them were just, let's be honest with ourselves, most of them were stupid. Asking for the dumbest swaps, the absolute most ridiculous like heroes they wanted you to play. It was kind of stupid. And the scoreboard didn't help with that at all, but I've already made a video on the scoreboard paradox, so I'm not going to retread old ground. The point is that in my opinion, Overwatch was starting on a decline, even back in 2018. And I honestly blame Jeff Kaplan. Now look, I know for a lot of us Overwatch veterans, Big Daddy Jeff was our guy, right? That was the one that we absolutely loved. We adored Jeff Kaplan. He was really funny. He had this Jeff Goldblum-esque energy, right? Where he was just the right amount of awkward, just the right amount of charismatic. But I'm going to say something controversial here. I don't think Jeff Kaplan cared about us as players. I just simply don't think he did. I think that Kaplan was far more concerned with being with his pet project, which was Overwatch 2. And we really started to see a decline in suffrage late 2018 into 2019 and so on, where they were very obviously prepping for Overwatch 2 because content slowed, balance patches slowed, hero releases slowed to an absolute crawl. And in case you guys didn't realize, we had Echo, and I think we went like 2 years without a new hero release because they were working on Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 was on the horizon. It was supposed to be this big bombastic thing, and when it finally released, what we got was a shattered mess of what we were promised. All of the things that we loved about the original Overwatch, loot boxes, the on-fire system, the voting cards, so many other things that seem so minor when you look at them, were integral to the Overwatch experience and part of what made the game feel so good for a myriad of reasons. Those were all gone. And I really like the meme that somebody tweeted out one time where they were like, all of Overwatch's 2 lifespan has basically been the devs going, oh, that's why this was an Overwatch 1, and then putting it back, right? And we're still going through that. Like, they're about to add a revamped version of the in-game card voting system with a match chat. That's going to be great for us content creators. But to me, Overwatch 2 was a big promise that nobody could fulfill. And I owe Aaron Keller and some of the other dev team an apology, because I made a video when we found out PvE wasn't coming, basically shitting all over them and telling them, I straight up told them, fuck you, because I felt betrayed, like many people felt betrayed. There are people out there in my community currently who tell me that even though they like my Overwatch content and they like Overwatch, they don't want to come back because of the broken promises. But I want to offer you guys a perspective that I recently discovered myself having. No one told me this. It didn't get told to me. I just want to tell you the perspective that I found. Imagine that there is a hotel, and this hotel is amazing, right? Top of the line. It's beautiful. It's got great amenities, great staff, great service. And there are some people that live there, some people that come to visit, and the hotelier suddenly announces that he's going to build a new, bigger, and better hotel. And so the hotel you're currently living in starts to deteriorate because all the resources are going to this new one. But hey, everybody who currently lives in this hotel will get to go over there for free. And people who were just visiting the hotel, you'll also get to go over there for free. I mean, you're going to have this great hotel and it's going to be free with optional purchases. That sounds amazing. And then the new hotel gets built and the old one gets torn down. And the new hotel is a fucking mess. There's holes in the wall, incomplete paint jobs, there's creaking stairs, it's horribly understaffed, and the old hotelier goes, well, I'm done, takes all of his money and fucks off and leaves his assistant hotelier in charge. That's Jeff Kaplan and Aaron Keller. Aaron Keller had to pick up the pieces that Jeff Kaplan left behind. Jeff Kaplan destroyed Overwatch, and then handed it off to Aaron Keller and said, all right, bye guys, and left. And that is miserable. I cannot imagine what Keller went through, watching people hate his guts for things that weren't his fault. And if you listen to the way that Kaplan talked to us, and you listen to the way that Keller talks to us now, I don't know about you guys, but Keller feels like he genuinely cares about the player base. And I know, some people are going to bring up things like the horrible monetization model that Overwatch currently has, or the lack of skin disparities, and I agree. But hear me out. I think that a lot of that is corporate meddling. And I choose to believe, I have no evidence for this, and you can call me out on that if you want, but I choose to believe that Keller and his team are working to fix those problems the best they can. I think that Keller and the current dev team care about the players enough that they are attempting to fix those problems. Will they succeed? I don't know. It's about convincing corporations that it's better to be consumer friendly than it is to be very greedy and rely only on the whales in the long term. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, obviously, but that's how I feel. I feel like Aaron Keller cares about us enough as a community that he's trying. Outside of the monetization issue, which is definitely the biggest issue, the balance is better than it's ever been. The lore is coming back. They released 5 heroes at the same time, which is a huge fucking risk. And yeah, I would have liked those heroes to have a little bit more cosmetics with them. But again, it's 5 heroes at the same time, so it's not like a huge, super huge, like, oh my god, what are y'all doing, right? I like the Battle Pass system. I've always liked Battle Pass systems. I think that free-to-play games are the future. I've said this before, that Battle Passes with free-to-play live service is better for gaming as a whole because it allows people who are poor to be able to play the newest games with their friends. Right? Back in my day, right? Gotta get all fucking millennial boomer on you, right? But back in my day, if you wanted to play the newest Call of Duty, or you wanted to play Halo or Gears of War or whatever multiplayer game all your friends in school were playing, you had to buy those games. And if you were like me and you came from a poor family, you didn't get to buy those games until sometimes years down the road. I would get lucky from time to time and be able to play with my friends and, you know, maybe play on my friend's console, or, you know, an aunt or an uncle might buy a copy of a game for me so that I could play with my cousins because my cousins wanted me to play or something. But in reality, I didn't get to do it that much. So I'm glad that kids nowadays are like, dude, what's this new game? Okay, cool. Is it free to play with the Battle Pass? Yeah, cool. I get to play it. Right? They get to play it with their friends. I think that's great. You know, they brought the loot box system back, which honestly, I like the current loot box system. I think they found a really good way to integrate the loot box system into the free-to-play live service model. I think it's fun. It's cool to see what you're going to get. I kind of hate that you can't buy them anymore, but I get it. My only complaint is I think they should either allow you to buy previous battle passes, which is the better way to go, or they should put Battle Pass cosmetics into loot boxes at the end of every year on a rotation. I think that's fair. In general, the loot box system is back. The balance is better than it's ever been. I am having a ton of fun, and I'm addicted to Overwatch again. I watched the in-game cinematics. I even went back and watched every cinematic recently. And it was such a cool trip down memory lane. I remember, you know, each and every single cinematic when it popped up, I'd be like, oh, I remember when this dropped. Oh, dude, this is so cool. Oh, man, I remember sitting in a dark room watching this. And I was just brought back to that place of love and comfort. I get frustrated, obviously. I mean, who doesn't? But even when I'm upset or frustrated, I'm still having fun. And I'm watching the LWCS, and I'm watching educational creators again, and I'm learning how to get better. And this time, instead of just turning on ranked and running it down main with the homies, I'm actually caring about my rank. And when I started caring about my rank and putting in like dedicated practice and trying to win instead of just playing to play, I grew very fast. And I'm still growing fast. I'm kind of stuck right now, but I'm working through those issues, and I look forward to hitting Grandmaster by the end of 2026. That's the ultimate goal. But it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been amazing. It's been outstanding. And I no longer see a dev team full of broken promises. I see a dev team that cares. Aaron Keller and his team care. They take a lot of time nowadays that they didn't used to. You can find tons of dev interviews now. That is crazy, man. We didn't used to get that. We didn't used to get the developers sitting down and talking with the community and stuff, man. That's so cool that we have that now. So I think Overwatch is in the best state it's ever been. I think that the amount of care that the devs have put in and continue to put in is amazing. And I look forward to seeing the growth of this game once again. And yeah, that's all. I'm addicted to Overwatch, and I just wanted to tell you guys that. So let me know what you think in the comments section down below. As always, if you don't like Overwatch anymore, that's fine. Try to be civil about it, I guess. Try not to be a dick. I know it's easy to do so, and if you hate the game, you hate the game. I'm not going to tell you you have to like the game. And if you disagree with me about the best state it's ever been in, that's fine as well. That's what discussion is for. But other than that, thank you to my channel members for helping me to create content on a budget every single month. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, rich discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.